Imagine a man born into unimaginable privilege, second son of a queen, knighted by his mother, handed a dukedom like pocket change, yet so utterly devoid of shame that he jets off to pal around with a convicted sex trafficker. A man who sweats through a Pizza Express alibi while denying the existence of a woman whose life he helped shatter. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't a villain from a Netflix thriller. This is Prince Andrew, the Duke of New York, the royal rot at the heart of the British monarchy. Today, we're ripping off the velvet gloves. No more fairy tales of duty and decorum. Using the damning evidence that's piled up like unpaid bills, court docs, leaked emails, victim testimonies, we're dissecting how Andrew's web of entitlement, exploitation, and evasion has poisoned the crown. Let's start where the stench is strongest, Jeffrey Epstein. Andrew didn't just know this predator. He was his VIP guest, his island-hopping buddy, his post-conviction confidant. Epstein pleaded guilty in 2008 to procuring a minor for prostitution, yet Andrew jetted to New York in 2010, post-conviction, and bunked at Epstein's mansion for days.
Why?
Andrew's own words, it was a convenient place to stay. Convenient for what? Networking with a sex offender while underage girls were allegedly trafficked under the same roof? Fast forward to February 2011, Andrew emails Epstein, "We are in this together and we'll have to rise above it."
Rise above what?
The headlines screaming about Epstein's crimes?
The victim's cries?
No, Andrew was scheming to claw back his tarnished image, with Epstein as his fixer. This email, unearthed in 2025 court docs, proves he lied through his teeth in that infamous BBC interview, claiming he'd cut ties in 2009.
Liar? Or just another entitled royal rewriting history?
And the victims? Virginia Giuffre, trafficked at 17, accused Andrew of abusing her 3 times, once in an orgy on Epstein's Little St. James Island with young girls who didn't speak English well.
Andrew?
He settled her 2022 lawsuit for millions, rumored £12 million, possibly dipped into the late Queen's Duchy of Lancaster funds, without admitting guilt. But her posthumous memoir, Nobody's Girl, released October 2025, paints him as a predator who saw her as his birthright. Giuffre died by suicide in April 2025, her life eroded by the trauma Andrew helped inflict. He called it regrettable. Regrettable like spilling tea on your tie. This wasn't a youthful lapse. It was a pattern. Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell waltzed into Windsor Castle for Andrew's 40th birthday bash in 2000, rubbing shoulders with the Queen herself.
What did the palace know?
MPs are demanding a full inquiry now, with over 1,000 letters flooding Parliament in October 2025, calling for Andrew's titles to be permanently stripped and ancient laws revisited to allow scrutiny. Because here's the kicker. Andrew allegedly asked a Met police officer for dirt on Giuffre in 2025 docs. Smear the survivor? Classic abuser playbook, as family law barristers like Dr. Charlotte Proudman have called out. Andrew's not just complicit, he's the architect of his own denial.
But Epstein's just the rotten cherry.
Andrew's whole life reeks of a man who believes rules are for peasants. Remember his trade envoy gig from 2001 to 2011? Taxpayer-funded jaunts where he rejected free embassy stays for luxury hotels, racking up bills on deals that smelled fishier than Billingsgate Market. Biographer Andrew Loney's 2025 book entitled dubs him arrogant, self-seeking, in denial. And that's polite. Diplomats in Seoul whispered of his bullying, ignoring advice, torpedoing negotiations with his questionable IQ, as one ex-critic quipped in 2025. Then there's the personal slime, hosting Epstein, Maxwell, and Harvey Weinstein at Royal Lodge. A 2025 photo reveal showed that trio partying at his Windsor pad. Talk about a rogues gallery.
And the Chinese spy scandal?
Court docs exposed Andrew's unusual degree of trust with Cai Chi, a Xi Jinping crony, multiple meetups amid espionage fears. What did he trade for favors? Access?
Secrets?
The Times called it a national security risk in October 2025. Don't forget the vulgarity. That 2019 BBC interview, a car crash, a nuclear explosion, worse than Diana's death fallout, per critics.
Sweating?
Impossible, he claimed. Medical condition from Falklands stress.
Pizza Express in Woking?
Ironclad alibi for not meeting Giuffre.
No remorse for abused women?
Sickening, said MP Hannah Bardell. He stepped back from duties, lost Her Royal Highness, but clung to perks like Royal Lodge, that 30-room Windsor mansion he's squatted rent-free for 22 years, now crumbling while taxpayers foot security bills north of £3 million yearly. Parliament's grilling him in 2025. Should a disgraced royal still lounge in a Crown Estate pile? Ex-users are savage. morally bankrupt parasite. One called him.
And his ex, Sarah Ferguson?
She took Epstein's cash to erase £15,000 debts in 2010, then got dragged into 2025 email scandals, losing 7 charities. Birds of a feather, fleecing the flock. Andrew's not a lone wolf, he's the symptom of a sick system. King Charles urged the Queen to exile him in 2019, but even now, in 2025, he retains Prince, that birthright bulletproof vest from 1917 letters patent.
Why?
Palace whispers say it's to block outsiders using him as a conduit to Charles or William. But banishing him from Christmas 2025? Too little, too late. MPs like Lord Folks are raging. Why can't Parliament strip titles? Ancient rules shield royals from scrutiny, but with 2025's Epstein email parade and Jeffrey's orgy claims, calls for a full-blown inquiry are deafening. The families in damage control, William and Kate taking charge, per Cosmo in October 2025, devastated and angry. But let's be real, Andrew's toxicity taints them all. It broke tradition. Experts say little Louis won't inherit York, too poisoned. Semantic searches scream entitled, Ben Wildsmith nailed it. Privilege bred zero empathy. And globally, this fuels Republicans worldwide, from Australia to the US, questioning a monarchy that harbors risks while preaching soft power. Andrews locked himself away postdocs. Devastated. Boo-hoo.
But victims like Jeffrey?
Their lives eroded, per her memoir co-writer on BBC Newsnight. He's facing private prosecution threats in 2025 for assault, corruption, misconduct. The FBI's still circling. No interview invite as of October 28, but files keep dripping. This isn't over. It's escalating. Jeffrey's memoir excerpts reignite fury, orgy details, birthright entitlement. Leaked 2011 emails prove he lied about cutting ties with Epstein post-2010. Then, the China spying scandal, multiple meets with Xi Jinping ally Cai Chi, raising national security red flags amid Epstein fallout. King Charles, terrified and rattled, faces hecklers shouting, "What about Andrew?" at public events. Now, private prosecution looms. Campaign group Republic is lawyering up for sexual assault and misconduct charges, citing Met Police in action. Andrew's October 2025 title surrender? Not duty. As he claims, it's damage control, after Charles' nudge. But it exposes the rot, a family shielding a suspect while taxpayers footed his £12 million hush money?
So, what's the verdict on Prince Andrew?
A sharp-elbowed schemer who traded royal honor for Epstein's shadows, a bully who bullied victims into silence, a liability the crown can't quit. From island orgies to spy flings, his scandals aren't slips, they are a blueprint for why the monarchy's creaking under its own weight. Charles stripped titles in October 2025, but half measures won't save the Windsors. We need inquiries, prosecutions, real reform, or better yet, a republic that serves people, not princes. Andrew's public persona? A crumbling facade of bluster and birthright. The evidence, emails, memoirs, millions paid, exposes the rot. Don't let the palace PR machine bury this. Share this video. Drop your thoughts below. Is Andrew the monarchy's endgame? Hit like if you're done with royal excuses. Subscribe for more unfiltered takedowns. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay skeptical. The crown's cracking, let's push it over.